Alright, I am attempting to live stream on YouTube and Periscope at the same time. Um, so, if anybody wants a close up shot of any of the stuff that I'm doing for this 3D printing nerd logo slide that I'm doing right now, go ahead and check me out on Periscope. It's a Pyro Design. The YouTube camera is going to be up there. This is pretty much going to be me painting the 3D printing head that goes on the top of this one. So I'm trying to get these two cameras going at once. That goes on the top of this 3D printed high five for Joel's channel. So here we go. Feel free to ask questions. I'm gonna go ahead and set this camera up over here. This one out of the way. Let's see. Let me make sure I got my chat window and everything. It's the first time I've streamed on YouTube before, so. Let me know how the video quality is and everything too on the YouTube side. Alright. So let's actually get this out of the way. I don't need to deal with this right now. Put that over here. I've got a couple of these 3D printing heads. Yeah, let me move this camera to this side so I'm always looking the same way. Alright, so these 3D printing heads, it's going to go on the top of the logo itself. The quality on a couple of these didn't come out too great. It's kind of messed up on the side over here. I'm going to go ahead and just do this for the purpose of the live stream and for the purpose of filming for my video. So if I decide to reprint it later, I'll go ahead and just do that and then, you know, paint it sitting on the couch watching TV or something. Alright, so let's see. Move this little base out of the way. Alright, this is the best looking one, so I'm actually going to work with this one. I went ahead and spray painted this with a primer coat, and then I spray painted the fan on the side black because I figured it would be easier to get in all the crevices and all that. So I'm actually going to be using this metallic Martha Stewart paint to make the metal parts on this printer head look really shiny and nice. I actually tested it over here and it looks pretty nice on here, so I'm going to go ahead and use this stuff. Let me actually go ahead and clean up this black first on the fan over here since that's already painted a little bit. Drop and everything. a couple spots on here where the spray paint didn't quite get in all the crevices, and I don't want to sit there and spray it over and over again. Have to wait for it to dry every time. Yeah, both of my printers are actually running really funky right now. I need to take the time and sit and tweak everything on them. The Ultimaker is actually printing, since I switched to the Ultimaker, I upgraded to the Ultimaker 2 parts. It's, hey, how's it going? Since I switched to the Ultimaker 2 parts, whenever it's printing small circles, they're out around. I don't know, you can't really see it on there, but when you look at it close, it's like that. It's not too big of a deal. I just need to adjust maybe the belts on it or something. I've never had to do that on that printer, but I had to replace the entire head for the new upgrade, so that definitely did something to it. And on my Flash Forge, the heating, what is it, the heat sensor is actually out. It actually went out before, and I've replaced it once. It's kind of annoying, but I use the hell out of both of these printers, so you can't expect them to keep going. Yeah, I can see the YouTube chat. It's over on the side. I got it on my laptop. Streaming on 2 platforms is kind of a pain, but I always stream on Periscope, and I wanted to try out streaming on YouTube, so. Still not big enough to get a lot of viewers, so it's kind of okay for it to be a little rocky. So, and in the end, all this will be in time-lapse footage on my actual YouTube video, so none of the rockiness will show up. Looks like I might have to use a few coats of this metal paint on here. Kind of really thin paint. I like how it shines, but it's definitely thin paint. Before, when I've done anything with metal on it, I've actually used metallic, like silver spray paint, and then just brushed it on, which I could actually possibly do here, because if I'm having to put too many coats on here, this is just going to take forever. Besides the fact that I might end up reprinting this and painting it again, so just depends on how it looks, I guess, in the end. Just try to get a quick base coat on here. This stuff is really not coating very well at all. Yeah, this part's silver too. Really not liking how this stuff's covering. It's gonna take me forever to cover this. I don't have to go over it multiple times. Spray paint just covers right over it. Although it's kind of nasty to breathe the spray paint fumes, just looks nicer. Try this a little bit more, see if I can get it covered a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. Actually, I'm going to go over the part on this other one that I already went over and see if a second coat will even start to cover it. It'll help me determine if I need to use something else. I don't want to be sitting here all day painting the same part. Hey Heather, are you watching this? Because if you are, can you go grab me that silver spray paint out of the garage? I want to see if that makes a big difference. I know it did on the other stuff I painted, so.
Or do you want this one?
Not to breathe too much of this fumes in. Let me get one of my crappier paint brushes. I want to ruin my good ones. Let's see if this works any better. That actually is not working better. Looks like I'm just gonna have to use the other stuff. It's good because this stuff kind of stinks. I'm gonna be getting high on paint fumes anyways. Whew. Usually when I paint something like this with the a lot of detail, I just kind of throw it on real rough in the beginning and then go back and clean it up afterwards. Especially when I'm having to do multiple coats, like with this paint. Stuff is just so thin. I might end up having to go get some different paint for this. Well, if I do that, then I'll just reprint the print head and get it nice and clean. Try it out on the Flash Forge since my Ultimaker's doing a circle is so funny. This is just right here. You can see that this part is like not really round. I mean, you can't really tell, but I mean, if you look at it closely, you can. What about YouTube chat? I can see it. Oh. Oh, I was scrolled. scrolled down a little bit. I didn't see the top of it actually. Ari says hi, Dad. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, just let me know. I'm just painting away. Trying to anyways. This paint is a little bit thin for anybody that's just joined. I'm using some weird Martha Stewart paint. Thought it would be nice. It had good reviews. It's just like really thin and not coating very well, so I mean it looks nice, but it's just not coating very well. To use multiple coats on it. The thing about painting over 3D printed surfaces is you just gotta get in all like the little lines and stuff too. You know, I've done this a lot, so it's you just gotta get used to it. Yeah, it's just not coating good. Starting to look shiny though. It look like metal, which is good. Yeah, pull back from it a little bit. It does look nice. Just gonna need a few coats. Got 6 viewers on YouTube and 1 on Periscope. Not bad for my first YouTube stream, I guess. I don't usually have anybody on Periscope. Sometimes. A lot of times I use the Periscope footage as a close-up footage on my YouTube videos, though. So it's nice to just have it there. And then if anybody's watching, they're watching. I figure I have all my followers or all my subscribers on YouTube, so. Here, let me show you. Actually, I guess you can't see this in the video. This is the high five. It actually has the hashtag high five down here on the bottom, a bunch of them. It's supposed to look like it's being 3D printed. So this is going to sit on top of here, so it always looks like it's being 3D printed. And then it will sit, I don't know, let me just make sure you can see. And then it's going to sit on this little base over here, which looks like a 3D printing bed. And then it will have filaments sticking out of the top. So that'll be the full logo once it's done. I just have to paint the 3D printing head. I want to make it look, you know, as real as possible. Thanks. I really don't like the way that this print turned out, so I'm probably going to print it again, but I'm just trying. I have the time to film and live stream today, so I'm just painting this one, and I want, you know, sometimes I'll do a test paint on stuff anyways, just to kind of get a feel for it, and then it gives me my footage for my video, and then I can actually go back and paint another one just sitting on the couch and watching TV or something if I want. I don't have to repaint it with the whole setup of the camera and all that. A lot of little crevices to get in between on this thing. This is definitely gonna take a while. Yeah, this is definitely the reason I do time lapses for my videos because this painting stuff and everything just takes forever. So not a lot of people have the time to watch somebody paint. You just gotta do a. Oh, I missed what that said. Periscope, I missed you. I think that was you, Heather. I made these little heat sinks on the side of this, and because they're at an angle and I printed this flat, it kind of came out a little rough. I think that's also because my Ultimaker's printing a little funky after I did the upgrade, so I might try to print this out again on the Flash Forge, which I can still print out on my right print head because that one's not having the temperature sensor problem. I really just need to take the time and break down both my printers and get them running really good. But I'm getting like request after request for logos, so it's kind of hard to take the time to do that. It's like a necessary evil. Though, because I obviously am having issues. Uh-oh. Check cut out over here. Let me fix that real quick. I think you probably still hear me, but guess I forgot to tweet out that I was live streaming on YouTube. I don't know if it puts out notification automatically, but I guess it would for anybody that has notifications set on YouTube. There's obviously some people in here. Maybe I should have set the YouTube camera a little bit closer so you guys could see this a little bit better as I'm painting. I know it's kind of far away. I've thought about doing that for my videos in general, just having the... Oh, nice. Joel put it on his page. Okay, that's why you guys are... I thought about doing it just on my GoPro, putting it like right above to where you could see the detail more. That's why I used a periscope too, but that video is never very clear or anything. And then you wouldn't see me painting. I guess I could do 2 cameras, a couple angles. Anyone that tells you doing YouTube and 3D printing stuff is easy is lying. Setting all this stuff up, just setting up the camera, setting up the prints is all just crazy time consuming. It's a lot of fun though. I wouldn't do it, I guess, if I didn't have fun with it. There's a lot of small details on this thing. Getting in between all that stuff is kind of crazy. The metal is starting to look good though. It's starting to actually look like real metal, which I like. Somebody's messaging me on Facebook. Probably another logo request. I've just gotten like maybe like I don't even know 5 or 10 over the last like week. It's gonna be insane once this video, once Joel shares out my video. I think I don't know how I'm gonna keep up with all this. Let's see, is this silver? Yeah, I guess I made it silver. This 3D print head, I kind of combined part of the Flash Forge, which is like the actual head down here. This part I kind of took inspiration from the Ultimaker, and then I did the top. I kind of copied the G Max right here, and the fan I just wanted it to have like a fan or something over on the side. So I can't remember what I copied that from. I might have been the G Max too. I don't remember. But I just kind of big conglomeration of different 3D printers, because you know the 3D printing nerd channel. I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to just be one thing. Like I didn't want to copy like one print head. I just wanted it to be like kind of its own thing. So. Are you messaging me on Facebook? I'll check it out when I'm done with my stream a little bit later today. Unless you want to tell me what you were asking right here. I don't know if you want everybody to know what you're asking me though. Let me actually run over. I'm going to look at the Flash Forge real quick. I want to see if that's actually more of a bronze color than silver color. Because I have that color too, and I could use that. Maybe there'll be a little bit more character if we do that. One sec. Nope, looks like it's silver. Not that it matters, I could paint it whatever I wanted to. Oh, okay. How will I attach the... There's actually, I printed a little connector right here, and in the back of the hand, there is a little hole back here where it actually will connect right here. So it kind of, if you just set it there, it sits. But yeah, I'll just attach it with glue. I'm actually going to release the model files for this logo on Thingiverse too, for anybody that wants to print it. That's why I actually made this to where it could be printed without any supports. I wanted it to be really easy to print. So you can print the 3D print head on the back like this, no support needed. And you can print the high five just like this with no support. So this is the dual extrusion model. I'm gonna release it as just a regular if you want to print it in a solid color with the single extruder also. But and I'm gonna put the one with the full fingers in case somebody wants to just print it without doing the 3D printing head on top, if that's like too difficult or whatever, if they just want the high five with the hashtags on there and stuff. So I'm just gonna release it as many ways as I can. I want people to be able to print it. Joel thought it was a cool idea too, so make sure I'm not losing any shot down here. Yeah, for everybody that's watching, this is why it takes me so long. Like sometimes why I don't release a video, at least one of these logos to life, like the big ones. I only release them like maybe once a month. It just takes so long. I gotta 3D model the logo and then print it, and a lot of times I'll print it multiple times just to get it just right. Like I said, I'm even gonna probably print this 3D printing head again, just to get it looking as perfect as I can. Because I just, I guess I'm just a perfectionist. I just like it to look as awesome as possible. Yeah, James was the first one I did. It was actually a fan project. I did the Angry Video Game Nerd logo as a fan project, and I took it to him at... I got a chance to go to PAX. I think it was 2011. My friend invited me to go to the Penny Arcade Expo, and I figured out the Angry Video Game Nerd was going to be there. I was like, oh, I'll just make this logo for him. I'd actually done another logo for him, and he showed it on his channel. It was just a 3D model logo, and he actually used it in one of his videos. So I did it again. I decided to 3D print it because my school that I was going to at the time had a 3D printer, and so I just made that logo, and it ended up being used in his movie, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. I have a credit in that movie, which is pretty awesome. So then he asked me after that point, he asked me to do some other logos. Well, sorry, that story's a little mixed up. I did the Cinemassacre logo next after I'm gonna actually make a video that explains all this because I always get my story mixed up, and it's kind of a long drawn out story, so I'm gonna make a video about it pretty soon. But anyways, I made the Cinemassacre logo for him, and gave that to him at the PAX like 2 years later, like when the movie was coming out, like as like kind of a thank you for him putting the logo, the first logo in the movie and the credit and all that. So I gave that to him as a thank you, and I actually made a video of that one, and that was how this show kind of came to be. Was the video for the Cinemassacre logo was my very first Logos to Life, and James asked me to do more and more videos after that, or he asked me to do more and more logos for the rest of his shows or whatever. And I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, this is awesome and everything, but he's gonna run out of logos for me to do. So then I decided to branch out, and then I contacted Dame Drops, and it kind of went from there. I just, word of mouth and people seeing my videos and stuff, and it just kind of fun, and I just keep doing it. So that's kind of the nutshell story. Like I said, I'm gonna release a video that explains it a little bit more. It was kind of weird how it started, and it just something that was a one-off fan project turned into a big thing that's like my main focus right now. I just love doing it. Metal's actually turning out really nice looking. I really like it. I don't know how good you can see it, but it's kind of dark over there too. Let me see, maybe you can see the shine on it right here. Pretty cool. I was disappointed with Martha Stewart paint, but now it's kind of to shine through, so I'm glad. Most of this is on this logo is just going to be viewed from the front, so it doesn't really matter what the back looks like. I probably will end up painting it. I don't know, just because, again, that's just me, how I am. I didn't end up painting the back of the Reckless Eating one, and it drove me crazy, actually. But I just mean like there's parts where it got kind of funky back here in the back where the support. I did put 2 supports in here to hold this coupler area, hold that up, and those can be broken off, but they're built into the print, so nobody has to like actually put supports in it when they print it out. But that part looks kind of funky from the back, which, like I said, you're gonna see it from the front just like this. Yeah, it does matter sometimes. Every time I look somewhere else, there's more little areas that I missed. I haven't done my logo yet. I actually have it in my list of logos to do. I want to do it, and I have plans for it. I don't know. I kind of wanted to get like a little bit bigger before I did my logo, because I want people to actually watch that one. Because most, like, if I don't have somebody promoting me, usually at this point, my videos will get like 100 views, something like that. Like the smaller logos that I do, like the black and white ones, those ones get about 100 views. But like when I have somebody promoting me, like when I'm doing these other bigger logos, those ones get a lot more views. So, and they're getting me more subscribers, and that's gonna make, you know, my channel bigger. So once my channel gets a little bit bigger, I will do my logo. And it's funny. It's a funny thing too, because I'll actually get to keep that one. All these logos that I do for these people, all these logos I do for other YouTubers, I always send those logos out to them. I don't ever get to keep them, you know. So it'll be cool to actually be able to keep one. I do have a little shelf of my mishaps and like bad prints that I've kept. I actually have a fully painted half of a Cinemassacre one from the very first one, which I think is really cool to have that one, because that was the official first Logos to Life that I did. Because that one got, like, the letters were shifted on a little bit, and I had painted it fully before I realized it, so I redid it again, me being a perfectionist. So I have that one, which is kind of cool, up on my little shelf with the rest of the stuff that got messed up. Let me actually grab that real quick and I'll show you. Yeah, the Reckless Eating one was pretty fun to do. I like that one a lot. Matt's been really cool. He's actually really supportive. He actually follows me on Instagram and checks out my Twitters and all that stuff. Like, most of the people that I've worked with have actually been really supportive. Here's the Cinemassacre one I was talking about. I have the fully painted half of the logo that I kept, just because these letters were shifted down a little bit. But you know, that reminds me, I need to change my letters on the front of here for my video. Hold on, what's that? It says A Pyro Design on the front. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, you see I have this little LED thing that says like A Pyro Design or Reckless Eating or whoever I'm working with. So I gotta change it. It says A Pyro Design right now, and after I paint for a little bit, I usually change it to the person that I'm working with. So let me change that to 3D Printing Nerd real quick. Give me 1 sec. This thing is so old. It's from like, I think that it was made in the 80s. I got it from my uncle. They used to use it at their parties. So let's see. Program has this giant keypad right here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I'm in front of the camera. Let me pull it out a little bit more. Knock everything down. This is giant old school 80s keypad. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to... Not enough room. not to put no space in here. Sorry, you guys can't see this. There we go. Start. Knocking everything down. You couldn't see the pad? Let's see. Alright. Yeah. Here's the giant 80s pad right here. You can kind of see it. Alright. Let's get back to painting. Wait, somebody asked a question. You said something. So I love the thought of making logos with this kind of thing 1,000 times. Yeah, I've actually made a ton of logos before. I used to just practice my 3D modeling skills by making like old school gaming logos, Mortal Kombat, N64, GameCube. That's actually the very first thing that I ever 3D modeled was a gaming pad or a GameCube logo. It was funny because I put it together all funky. I was just like placing giant polygons together to 3D model the logo, and like had no idea what I was doing. Like grabbed a cube and just like placed like a long separated polygon on the side. It was kind of messed up, but it was the very first 3D model that I did. So I guess I kind of started with logos, and I'm still doing logos. So I guess that kind of dates how long I've been doing 3D modeling in general. Because when I did that, the GameCube was like the popular system. Yeah, if you want to check out the readout on the thing, I can't move my camera. You have to check it out on one of my other videos. This is starting to really look like metal now. I like it. Even though this is kind of funky over here from the 3D print, like I said. I'll repaint it later, or reprint it later. I kind of want to get this one done. I'm excited about it. I want to get it out to Joel. I don't want to miss any spots with this. Come back and do it later. actually kind of need to let it dry a little bit and then come back over the spots that I'm missing, because when I brush over spots that are still wet, it just moves the paint over and leaves a white spot anyway. So I think I'm going to switch over to painting the top part of it now. These are my logo, the outline of it. I laser cut these on the laser cutter at work. That would be kind of neat. Still, before I paint the side of this, there's a spot in here that I didn't see that I missed when I was spray painting the black on here. Really hard area to get into. That's still the best brush to use. Some red. Give this thing some color. The red coats nicely. I'm glad I switched over to getting these better paint. Martha Stewart paint's thin, but the regular colored paint that I use is just a Liquitex. It's really nice for painting 3D prints. If you're using acrylic, I know some people use model paint and other stuff. I like using acrylic. I've always used acrylic paint. I see there's still 5 people watching. Anybody feel free to ask questions if you want. I'm just painting away here. How's the stream quality? Is it running good? This is the very first time I've done a YouTube stream. I I followed a tutorial from Barnacules on that he has on his channel. It's actually, I mean, it seems to be working pretty good. Nobody's complained yet. Let's set this down. That's good. I need to get some better lighting in here. Some light from the back or up here or something. Let's see that good on this side. I actually just moved my whole setup around. It looks completely different. I mean, if you watch any of my other videos, like I had it set up, the table was over here and all that. I wanted to be able to put these pictures of all the logos that I've done in the background now. So I switched it around towards like this instead. And my main camera's right here. So it's filming me painting down, and then the stuff on the front has the LED thing I was talking about earlier, and my logo right there, and I figure it just gets a better picture of everything. We'll see how it works. First time I've done this too, with this setup anyways. Getting to the point where I need to get this little tiny detail brush out to get in between this stuff. This brush that I have is a little bit too big. Will do. Probably should have painted this part before I painted this silver. Definitely getting red on this. Oh well, I'll just have to paint over that again. It's just easier to cover with this paint than with that paint, so it would have been easier to paint the other way around. Sorry if I'm not talking much. Sometimes when I get into these really fine details, it's hard to talk at all. Alright. Out of that fine stuff for now. Just a little bit more paint over these sides real quick. Put the red. Am I being blind? I seriously lost my red paint. Does anybody see my red paint? It's right in front of my face. Never mind. Okay, while I still have the red out, we go ahead and put my little Pyro design outline right over here on the fan. Go ahead and paint that. See, this is another reason why I might go ahead and, or I probably am going to go ahead and reprint this. Just doesn't, like, even the outline of this logo is kind of hard to see. When I spray painted it, I put a little bit too much on there. Which, like I said, this is just for the video. At this point, like, I think I've decided that I'm already gonna reprint this, so yeah, because I just can't get any detail out of that. I might as well just leave it black. Can barely see what it even is. It just looks like a blob, which I know is because I spray painted. I might extrude it a little bit more too. If you just joined in, I'm working on this 3D printing nerd logo. It's going to I just grabbed the wet paint because I'm being dumb. 3D printing head will be on top of the logo, so it looks like it's always printing out. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm just painting the 3D printing head and making a mess. This right here alone, right here, my logo outline that I put on the fan right here. This alone makes me want to reprint this thing, just because it's just not enough detail, and that's just not gonna look good in the picture or anything. I mean, I don't know how good you can see that, but it's just like a blurry blob. But for the sake of my video, I'm going to go ahead and just keep painting this, and I will reprint and paint the logo or the 3D printing head again later. So this is basically going to be just like a practice, if you can call it that. Practice painting. Right now I'm just painting the, this is, since I made this 3D printing head out of multiple different 3D printing heads, I like modeled it off of a bunch. Flash Forge for this part, Ultimaker for this part, G-Max for this part, and then just a random 3D printed fan. I called it the APD 3D, and I put my little logo over here, kind of puts my mark on the logo without, like, you know, taking away from Joel's logo. And like I said before, we're going to make these files available for anyone to be able to download. So anybody can be able to print this if they want to. I don't know if anybody will, but we'll find out. Alright, let me get back to some of this silver paint again. This is the reason I'm kind of being a little bit more anal about this one too, is because this is the first logo that I've done for a 3D printing channel, and I feel like 3D printing enthusiasts are going to be a little bit more picky when it comes to what looks good and what doesn't. And also, because like I said, I'm going to make these files available for download, I want everything to just be able to print nice, look nice, and be easy to do. So if it's not easy for me to do, it's not going to be easy for a lot of other people to do. Not that everyone will go around and print it all, or print and paint everything, but I just want to make it there, that option able to be there. The people that are in here will kind of get the behind the scenes. Nobody else will actually know that I completely reprinted this and repainted it because I won't film that. And that's more of just a time constraint thing. I'll have to do it like probably late one night, just sitting on the couch watching TV or something, because to set all this up, the cameras and all that stuff, get all these streams ready is kind of an undertaking. So to have to do that again will be just too much. So gonna finish painting this one, and then it'll be like the Cinemassacre one I talked about earlier. I'll have a second one that's painted just for me, which is kind of cool too. Since I'll send the actual finished one to Joel, this one will be just sit up on my shelf. I think I've discovered is that this paint just doesn't cover well over the primer that I put on this thing, because when I paint over the spots where I accidentally got acrylic, the red acrylic on, it paints over like in one coat perfectly. So maybe on the next one I won't prime it at all. See if it actually, let me see how it paints over just some raw PLA. Yeah, it's still kind of rough on the raw PLA, so I'll just have to use multiple coats because I'm not gonna paint it with acrylic paint over the whole thing and then do it again. That's too much. Oh, it looks like my periscope just cut off. Oh well, it's kind of a long periscope anyways, and there wasn't anybody in there, so I'm gonna go ahead. My battery's almost dead. I'm gonna shut that stream off. Just go with the YouTube stream. It seems a little bit easier to use anyways. I'll save Periscope for when I'm doing other stuff. haven't seen Joel in here. He's probably busy doing something else. I didn't expect. Just got gold paint all over my fingers. Don't want to end up with gold all over everything else. It's okay. I'm not tripping anything in here. This is my first YouTube live stream. I'm kind of a little rough anyway. I might actually reprint this 3D printing head. And he shared it out on his Facebook too, so I know he knows that I'm in here. I am painting the print head for the top of the logo. Since you just got in here, I'll show you. This is going to sit right on top of the logo like this, and I'm getting paint on this, but that's fine. So it looks like it's always 3D printing. And then I'm going to actually just take some filament, stick it out like that, or something like that, just so it looks like it's printing all the time. And then I'll have this little tray over here that looks like a build plate sitting on top of these thumb screws as the base. And I'll set that up later, but anyways, that's the main gist of how the logo is going to be. See, just like that. I don't know if you can see that here. Put it over here. It's actually getting pretty close. Like I said, I don't like the way this print turned out, especially now that I've painted it. I might go ahead and just reprint this, try to get it a little bit cleaner. My Ultimaker's been having some problems. Because I updated I updated my Ultimaker 2 to the Ultimaker 2 Plus, and I haven't gotten the belts tightened, or the X and Y are kind of messed up. So it's printing these circles, you can't really see it on the stream because it's very small, but the circles are not round perfectly. So, and the sides of this kind of came out. I keep on pointing over here because my laptop's over here. But the sides of this came out kind of rough too. So I just want it to be as clean as possible, since this is my first 3D printing channel that I'm doing, so I can't have like a super crappy 3D print. Not that it's super crappy, but it's just not perfect. So I'm gonna paint this one, finish painting this one just for the live stream and for my video, because if I print another one, I'll just paint it sitting on a couch watching TV one night this week, and then I'm gonna try to get my video up probably pretty soon. probably within the next week or so. I gotta send this out once it's all done. Send it out to Joel. I think I might actually end up stopping soon. This one looks pretty close to being done, and since I'm not gonna probably use this, I don't really need to like refine it perfectly. But I think it's looking pretty good. Just in general, I like how the metal paint looks. It looks pretty real. I just like the overall look in general. I think I'm pretty happy with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop printing this now, or painting this now. Because I want to go ahead and reprint this. I'm gonna just go ahead and do that now. I'll go start it. I think the last time it took about 12 hours to print that, so maybe I'll paint it tomorrow night, and then I'll get it all put together. I've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. So it's pointless for me to put any of the rest of this together right now, since I'm going to reprint this. So it actually didn't take me as long to paint it as I thought it would. Although I'm not done on this one. It'll take me maybe 2.5 hours once I actually paint the other one. But I don't know how good you can see that. Looks pretty cool for a rough print. I guess pointing the light right at the camera is not good. Anyways, thanks for everyone who joined me. I'm going to go ahead and get off now. If you haven't checked out my channel, go ahead and check out my videos. I do all these 3D printed logos, obviously. I'm Pyro Design. I keep looking at the laptop. I'm Pyro Design on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So just look for Pyro Design, and sometimes you have to put it in as one word instead of separating it out, putting spaces. So just look for Pyro Design and follow me wherever you can, if you want. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for, hitting 1,000 was awesome. It was a good feeling last night. I just hit 1,000 subscribers, and it's taken me about probably a year to hit that. I've been on YouTube for, I don't know, since like 2007. I've had my channel since 2007, but I didn't really start doing anything with it until probably about a year and a half ago. So it's not too bad, I don't think. And it's just getting bigger. I mean, even since I've hit 1,000, I think I'm already at 1,010 or 1,007 or something like that. So it's still going up slowly right now. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. If I can. This is the first time. So. Alright. Hitting the stop button.